Hey sissies and buddies, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time tuning in, thank you for joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's dinner time again. So what I have right now for us is Soul Food Sundays. So Soul Food Sunday for me, or at least on tonight. I figured I might do this a couple of times, the Soul Food Sundays, but on tonight, I have some lima beans, some rice, a couple of fried pork chops, and some greens. And I will share with you how I made this as always. And I'm super hungry right now, so let's go ahead and dig in. I love beans. I think I said that before, but I decided to make some lima beans tonight because soul food always reminds me of times with my granny before she passed, and lima beans is one of the things she ate a lot. And I just really love lima beans, so lima beans, the way I cook them are super simple. I just put a piece of smoked meat in there, and for me, I use smoked pork neck bones. I know everybody say pork is so fatty and this, that, and the third, but neck bones are not that fatty. Like, you gotta remember while they're smoking, a lot of that fat runs off, so, and then you get that good flavor. So I throw a little bit of that pork neck bone in there, salt, pepper, a little bit of onions, some garlic, and let them lima beans boil down till they real soft. To drink tonight, I got a little bit of iced tea. I've been on iced tea kick for the last few days, so excuse me. I just been drinking iced tea because I love it. So then this rice, that rice is good. I rinse my rice as usual. Put it in the pot with the appropriate amount of water, the finger. And then in that, I put a little bit of that powdered chicken broth. I told y'all about that powdered chicken seasoning. A little bit of cilantro and onion. That goes super good. With the lima beans for me. And then my greens, I like mixed greens. So in here I got collard greens, turnip greens, kale, spinach, and then onions and garlic. And also, like I said, a little bit of that smoked neck bones. So that's so good. I like this Texas Pete pepper sauce. It's basically peppers with a little bit of vinegar. So it gives your greens a little bit of spiciness, but also for me, that vinegar flavor that I like. So I put a little bit of that on my greens, and it's popping. That's a little too far away. Let me scoop this in. Oh, that is good. Hot. Mm, mm, mm. Those greens is on point. And then the pork chops. Mm, that is so good. I get a little bit of those thin. I like the thin cut pork chops when I'm making fried pork chops. Like, even though I do enjoy thick cut pork chops, but when it's fried, I like the thin ones. Mm. Put those suckers in that seasoned flour. A little bit of grease in the bottom of the pan. Mm. Mm. They be on. Pork chops be on. Mm. 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 That is bomb. In my seasoned flour on the pork chops, I put a little bit of Mexican curry, seasoning salt, garlic salt, a little bit of Cajun seasoning. So it's a little bit of spice to it, but it's also very, very well seasoned. Mm. Mm. Those lima beans are on point. I got my frozen water. Y'all already know how I get down. Whew. I'm in heaven right now. This food's so good. I didn't really come up with a topic for tonight because, a lot of these dishes, like the greens and so on, like that, they take a lot of time. So I spend most of my day cooking. And then, the smells in the house. Like sometimes you'll be cooking something and the smells of the house will take you back to a certain place. And I just remember the smell of greens, like, always remind me of the holidays at my granny's house. We used to have so much fun. Like, she was literally the best person. The best person. She was funny and fun, and she was a disciplinarian. Like, don't get it twisted. She was definitely a disciplinarian, but growing up with her was amazing. And then, I was blessed enough to have my granny around when I was an adult. So I got that kid side of her, but then I also got that adult version of her. And so it was just like not for nothing, but a blessing all the way around. I remember wanting to cook so bad, and then she like give you the odd jobs, like things she ain't really want to do. Saying like chopping up onions and bell peppers and stuff like that. And I used to be so content doing that, like so just to be in there with her and being a part of, creating the meals. No matter how small the job was, it was really, a blessing for me to be in there with her and just helping. And I think that's where my passion for cooking came from. Like just those joyful times that I had with her in the kitchen. Like, not for nothing, there were things that she cooked that I would not eat. Like, under no circumstances. I like a lot of food, but to this day, there's things that I have tried in several forms that I would not eat. And some of the things, it would be things that she cooked, like, I think I was just telling my daughter this story uh, yesterday. My granny was a custodian at Canoga Park High School, and she was there for years, like, um, as long as I can remember. I think maybe third or fourth grade. I remember her working at Canoga Park High School, and like, not for nothing, but we're talking about a black woman in America, so there was like two things that you could do. You could be a nurse or you can clean houses. And I know the stories about her being a nurse, but those are things that I didn't experience. But I just remember her always being, a custodian at Canoga Park High. And not for nothing, they loved her. Like when she retired, we still have this painting that one of the kids made for her about the things. Senior pranks were really big in the 90s and in the 80s, so they made this painting of things that they did as senior pranks, and then she had to like clean it up, and it was funny but beautiful at the same time, because kids will be kids, but they still respect and loved her. So we still have that painting. But going back to the things that she cooked, like I was talking with my daughter about it. We were talking about high schools and how they have changed. And Canoga Park High School used to have this agricultural center, and for kids that grew up in the city, like, there were things there that we didn't experience, like horses and like geese and rabbits and pigs and stuff. And if you took agricultural class, it was about you going out there learning how to take care of these animals and like grow things and everything like that. So you know they had, I don't even know if I should be saying this. I don't know if this is even illegal or not, but anyway, they used to have like rabbits and like a rabbit patch or whatever. And so, they would, someone there, I'm not going to say who, we're going to leave them anonymous, but they would slaughter the rabbits for her, like the full grown rabbits, so that she could eat them. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody used to be like, oh, rabbits taste like chicken. Let me tell you right now, I love chicken. Rabbits do not taste like chicken. That junk stinks when it cooks, and you got the flour on it and the seasoning just like it's chicken. And then when you chop it up, it looks like chicken pieces. And so you can be bamboozled by it because you go in there and it's like pieces of chicken that you recognize, but it ain't chicken, it's rabbit. And let me tell you, that junk is disgusting. And I would just, she would fry it and it would smell good. And then you walking in there all manipulated, like, oh, you fried chicken. And then she was the type to be like, yeah, that's some chicken. Go get you a piece. And then you taste it like, Granny, something is wrong with this chicken. And then that is not chicken, it's rabbit. And no, ma'am. Okay. No, ma'am. I cannot with you. I cannot. Mm-mm. I cannot. So, like, not for nothing, but my granny was a connoisseur of cooking. And, like, a lot of the things that I eat, to this day, including this meal that I have on my plate tonight, are reminiscences of things that I've had with her and things that I've enjoyed, and things that I, not so much. Like, she used to love lamb chops, and I know lamb chops are popular and all that, but I cannot eat no lamb chop. It just, the way it smells when it's cooking, I'm Gucci. Like, you cannot convince me to eat that junk. And then, what I'm saying, like, she would get off work at 11 o'clock at night because she go in, like, 3 to 11 or 2 to 10 or whatever. And, like, so when I became a young adult, I went to go stay with her. And right across the street from Canoga Park High School was a mall. Excuse me. And that mall had like my first jobs in it. So I used to work the mall, and then the mall closed at like 9, and you're done cleaning up by 10. So I would just walk across the street. And go close out the night with her. When we get back to the house, and she's chilling, having her cocktail or whatever, and smoking her cigarette or whatever, and then she'd throw something on for dinner, like late night. And I'm like, ooh, what does that smell? She's like, it's lamb. Lenitra is not eating that. I'm sorry. Like, don't get it twisted. I am one of those people that would try things, and if it tastes okay, I would continue to eat it. But that rabbit, them lamb, that goat and stuff like that, nuh-uh. No, ma'am. The line is drawn in the sand because it smells, and it's gamey. Like, I don't understand. I don't know if people understand what a gamey taste is like, but I can't even describe it. The taste is so super weird. I can't even describe what gamey tastes like, but it is weird as shit. And let me tell you, I was super good on that. But, she grew up in a time where they had farms, and like I listened to my mom tell stories about when they were little and they had chickens and in their yard, and like pens with bunnies in it, and like pigs and things like that. And my grandfather would go out there and slaughter fresh meat for them. So in a sense they are used to that taste of that gamey meat. But I can't. I'm sorry. The line has to be drawn somewhere. And like, not for nothing, but I have been to fancy dinners. Like this one time at my previous job, casino that I was working with out here, and they're like, having this honorary dinner, and all these people. We had auditioned, and we were trying to do commercials and all that stuff. I didn't make the commercial. That's a whole other story. But for all of us that participated, hundreds of us, they threw this giant banquet, and they had like lamb chops with the, stuff on it, and it was looking all delicious and stuff. So I was like, okay, maybe the way my granny cooked it was different. So let me try. I was still good. It looked pretty on my plate, but that thing was sitting right there. I sliced that sucker, and and then it was like pink, like steak, because don't get me wrong, I like my steak medium to medium rare. So I like pink meat. So in my mind, I thought, okay, maybe because it's like pinker. No, ma'am. I was super good. Now got me twisted. I don't like that junk. There are certain things I will not eat. Like when I lived in Florida, I went to a barbecue one time, and people in this area of Florida that we live in, like I had met people and they were nice, and but at the end of the day it was like a poor area. So they was telling stories about the meat they used to eat when they was little because it was so poor, like sharecrop, like not for nothing, but it was 2000 when I lived out there, and people were still sharecroppers. Like, let's just keep that 100. And they were talking about growing up like second and third generation sharecroppers. Like, you're poor. Like, you think in your mind like Florida orange juice and cantaloupes and watermelon, and like you go to the store and you buy all these things, but somebody has to pick that crap. You know what I mean? And these were the people that I had started interacting with. They were talking about, like, one of the ladies had said, "Oh, we had all the vegetables we could eat because we had our own garden. So when the things grew, we could eat them. But we would set traps for squirrel." And I'm like, squirrel? And she's like, "Yeah, you got to be careful eating at a barbecue, down where we at, because people are used to certain things, so they would just throw some on the grill and they'll look and smell like regular barbecue, but it might be, something that you ain't used to because you from the city." I'm talking about people eating possum, squirrel, like whatever you could catch for meat, they were eating it. Hell no. I was like, I was damn near vegetarian when I lived in Florida. Like, if the meat didn't come from Publix or some grocery store, no ma'am. A side cart or like, what I'm saying, a barbecue joint, y'all ain't gonna get me. You got me twisted. I ain't eating none of that. Although, I did try gator, and to be honest, it wasn't that bad. I don't know. People say it tastes like chicken. I love chicken. It didn't taste like chicken. If there's a thing between a cross between steak and fish. It kind of tastes like that, but it definitely didn't taste like chicken. But again, a lot of soul food, is poor food, and it's based on the region that you were born in and the things that were exposed to or could afford to eat. A lot of times for less fortunate people, food is about survival, and that's a lot of times where soul food comes from. So, there ain't nothing wrong with it. I'll try it sometime. Some things you just ain't gonna get me to eat. But sometimes I'll branch out there and try it. Hmm. Whew. So cool. Pork chop is bomb. I guess I really didn't eat too much of this rice, but it was still really good. Them lima beans, they are gone. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I was low-key craving beans, though. I think I talked about it for a couple of days and then said, ooh, I'm about to make me some beans. And I thought about chili beans and black beans and pinto beans. But I looked through and said, ooh, I got some lima beans. Boom, it's on. Mm, mm, mm. Whew. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end this video because I am really full right now. So if you like this content, go ahead and subscribe to my page. Hit that notification bell so you can be the first to get these videos when they come out. I want to say thank you for tuning in and sharing dinner time with me tonight. I love, 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 love you from my heart. Good night, everybody.